objective.
I don't find that evidence sufficient because
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
The Bible is not a scientific document. It is not a document that is citable.
Your problem isn't that you need more proof.
It's not.
No.
I don't need proof. I agree.
No, your problem isn't that you need more proof. Your problem is that you're rejecting the God that you know exists.
I am rejecting
You're choosing a life of sin.
Exists.
You're choosing a life of sin
Not the men.
over a life of submission to God. Mm-hmm. You're choosing a life of sin over accepting the free gift that God gave in Jesus Christ when he died on the cross.
Right. Because
that's your problem.
I consciously believe it somewhere and I just don't want to deal with that.
Yes.
Okay.
You're suppressing the truth and unrighteousness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to suppress, my other beliefs in other deities, in idols, in my sexuality, and other types of things that I should prioritize, not suppressing my belief in God, and that way follow down.
Yeah, and the true God. Yeah, you shouldn't suppress your belief in the true God. I agree. Yeah.
What does that have to do with this? Your belief in God. What is your belief in God?
Well, if the God of the Bible doesn't exist, and let's just say atheism is true, then there's no reason why murder is wrong.
Murder. So
if I'm cutting the grass, that's particles in motion. I'm just slicing the grass. That would be no different than me lining up people. Where are the women?
Where are the women?
Are you assuming my gender?
You have a dick.
Does that mean I'm a woman?
Don't get me wrong.
Or
I'm
not a
trans
woman?
man. I 100% agree with the whole gender thing. The issue here is that you don't have to get an abortion.
But you just assumed my gender.
Gender has nothing to do with abortion, though. Believe it or not, that's two different things. Abortion has to do with sex.
Okay.
Gender and sex are different, and
So a trans man can't have an opinion on abortion?
No, a trans man can have an opinion on abortion because the trans man has the ability to get pregnant.
I'm sorry, trans woman. My bad.
Yeah, a trans woman also, again, her belief, she's welcome to an opinion.
Can have?
Yeah, she can have an opinion. The issue is that
Well, I was in the womb. I don't know if you're aware of that. And you were in the womb.
Yeah.
So we have a shared humanity, right?
I just talked to her. I talked to her.
Yeah, we all started from the same place.
Yes.
Right? It took a mom and a dad to make us. Okay?
No, it
and so
it took the mom to give birth to the thing.
Mom and dad.
And the issue is you're a dad. If you have a child,
I
you're
have
a dad.
three children, and they all started in the same place too.
But why do you get an opinion on an abortion?
Because I was in the womb.
Congratulations.
Let me ask you this: have you ever murdered a born person?
Have you?
No. Have you?
Has anyone had an abortion, murdered a born?
Have you? Just please answer the question. Have you murdered a born person? Okay.
I've never murdered a born person.
So if you've never murdered a born person, why can you have an opinion on it?
Because
You haven't done it.
If you've never,
neither do you.
I know, but I'm doing an internal critique of your statement. You said I'm not a woman, so therefore I can't have an opinion. Yeah. Now I'm asking you, you're not a murderer of born people. Why can you have an opinion on murder of born people? It's the same logic.
Okay. What you're not understanding is that you will never have to go to a doctor and ask.
You're not answering the question.
Yeah, I answered the question. I've never done it, but you will never.
No, the question of how can you have an opinion on the murder of born people when you haven't murdered a born person?
Because that's not born. An abortion is not a born.
No. You're failing to see the logic connection. You said you're not a woman, therefore you can't have an opinion. I'm telling you, you're not a murderer, so therefore you can't have opinion on murder.
Because she can have opinion on.
It's the same logic.
You can have the opinion on anything, just like you have the opinion that abortion is murder.
And your opinion isn't.
Your opinion.
Okay, so I can have the opinion.
Yeah, but the issue.
Okay, even though I'm not a woman. So why did you bring up the woman thing?
Because the thing is you're passing your opinion off as something that must be true.
Yes, it is. 100% true.
It's not. That's the difference between
Oh, it
an
is.
opinion and a
Then
fact.
why state it as an opinion? And
it
not
is.
a
You're
fact?
stating it as an opinion, and you're saying that it's in your opinion. But then you're also
It's a
passing it off as a fact.
It is a fact.
Based on religious facts? Or your
100%.
Religion also isn't a fact either. But that's why it's called faith. faith is the belief in something that you do not 100% know to be true, correct? Or else it's not faith.
No, I disagree with that.
It's not faith.
No,
That's why we have it.
I disagree with that a little bit. The Bible says, these things that I write that you may know that you have eternal life. I do believe that we can know that we are Christians.
Yes.
But I do believe that, yes, it takes
faith.
faith,
The issue here isn't your opinion.
which is granted
The issue is that
by
you're
God.
pushing your opinion as a man who will
100%.
never have to walk into a place and ask
Okay,
for abortion.
I'm really
women.
okay. Now I'm gonna take your same logic and I'm going to apply it to you. You should not push your opinion that murdering born people is wrong when you've never done it. There's another guy who thinks that murdering born people. What?
They're not.
I'm logically showing you how your logic breaks down. Okay, let's use a different thing.
How is that? Okay, well,
Theft.
You're comparing the murder of someone who is alive, who can make a decision for itself, to something that is.
No. I'm doing an internal critique of your logic, but you're not following.
Logic doesn't track.
Yes, it does.
Logic in this context is not the same.
You're not even understanding the logic of the situation, because you keep on bringing it back to the comparison of that to this.
That's what we're talking
No.
about. Yeah, that's why you're here.
You need to. Okay. Rewind.
Okay.
You're saying that I can't make a moral judgment and say that the government ought to do this thing because I am not a woman, correct?
Right.
The same logic, your same terrible, horrible logic could be used to say you're not a murderer of born people, therefore you can't institute governmentally that murder of born people is wrong. Do you understand how that is the exact same logic that you just used against me?
Do you understand that logic works differently in different contexts?
No, the logic is flawed because
Why?
abortion isn't considered a murder.
It is murder.
Morally,
Of
yes.
what? What are you killing?
A human being.
Morally, yes. Murder.
How is it not a human being? Do you think it's a dog or a dolphin?
It's not a formed human. That's the issue.
It's not a formed human? Are you 26?
Yeah, and neither are you.
Are you?
You're not a formed human. But
No,
you're
are you
also out here
26? Are you 26?
No.
You're not a fully formed human. Yeah, I'm 30. I'm a fully formed human. So by using your same logic, I could say that you're not a fully formed human, and therefore your life doesn't matter. That's the same logic that you just used for the child in the womb. They're not fully formed, therefore they can die.
What about, okay, you know what? What about abortion in the case of rape or incest?
Okay, so I just want to, let's track where we've been at. So I've shown you that your logic is wrong in the case of I'm a woman, therefore I can't have an opinion. That's faulty logic. And then I've shown you that your logic is wrong in the case of what we just talked about. And now you're asking about rape and incest.
Yeah, because I actually think that's really important.
Okay, do you have a dad?
I do.
Okay. If your dad went out and murdered someone, would you want to be punished to death for that?
Yes.
You would want to be punished to death for the murder that your father committed.
Not my father committed. My father would deserve to be sentenced to death. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Yes, that's okay. That's okay. That's all right. No. Pull this back. So yeah. So that is the fundamental position, is that we shouldn't punish children for the crimes of their father. I care about justice, and I want justice for you, and that means that if your father goes out and SAs someone or kills them, I don't want you to receive a punishment for that.
But you're also punishing the woman for it.
I am not punishing the woman. I don't want the woman to die. I don't want to punish her in any way.
Is a woman has been through a rape, which is a very traumatic thing.
Okay.
And you want to force that woman, despite already having her body being violated in one of the worst ways you can possibly be violated.
Yeah, do two wrongs make it right?
But that's not wrong. Giving the woman the ability to make a decision about something, like her choice with her body was already ripped away from her. So now she can get the choice.
Why
that body gets to house something.
Why
a product of that for 9 months.
So I agree with. I actually think rape is so bad that the rapist should be put to death. Do you agree?
Yes.
That's awesome. So I want to ask you this philosophical question: why is rape wrong?
Because it is the unconsensual act of doing something to something that has to live and breathe
Yeah,
and
that's
live.
the exact same reason why abortion is wrong, because it's the unconsensual violating of another human being's body.
But the baby doesn't understand that it's alive. That's the thing. It can't be unconsensual. If the
So,
thing that
do you
is-
think that understanding is what defines human life?
Yes.
So
You
you-
have to understand
Do you
you're
think that
alive. Yeah, you have to understand that you are alive in order to be making decisions with your life. This baby
because
doesn't
that
know that it's alive. The baby
do you think my 2-year-old knows that they're alive?
the baby lives and breathes and like knows that it's out in the world, and the baby can choose to not eat the food that you
Do you think that there's mentally handicapped people that don't know that they're alive?
mentally handicapped people know that they're alive?
You
I know that they
do you think that there are people in comas that don't know that they're alive?
people in comas also know that they are alive. I want people in comas.
You're saying that all people in comas
Yes. People in
know
comas
that
are
they're alive.
conscious. People in comas are conscious, believe it or not, and they can hear people in the room with them.
Yeah, I just disagree with that. I think that different people have different levels of knowledge about whether or not they're alive. Knowledge about them being alive is not. I mean, my 2-year-old can't even express. He can't even express to me that he is alive with his voice.
But
Right?
the kid can express that it has a distaste for certain things. Like your kid doesn't like vegetables, does he? He's 2, but he doesn't like veggies.
I don't
He
think
doesn't like
that
certain things.
disliking vegetables or
That is
expressing dislike is a consistent definition of what is human or not.
Yes, but the baby can't. A baby in a mother's stomach can't do that. That's the issue. The baby.
I
has
understand
no
that,
understanding of
but
what it
that is not a
that it's
consistent
alive.
definition
It cannot
of life.
express a distaste for something. The baby won't even understand what's happening.
Consciousness is not a consistent definition of what is alive.
And that also brings into the question of at what point do you consider the baby to be alive?
It's not at what point do I consider the baby to
Yeah,
be
because,
alive.
like,
It's
if
about
a
when
baby
is the baby alive?
Can you abort the baby the next
No,
day? No, that's illegal.
No.
Even though that baby
that's terrible.
has not grown at all. And
Yeah, I'm not an ageist or a sizist. I don't believe that because of the size of the human being or the level of development that they can be put to death.
So what about?
Because to me, the Bible.
So
it's about.
so we're
I
not
read the
even
Bible in
talking
high
about the
school
baby has to be
with everything.
conceived.
It's very
a
Catholic.
day
No,
after
that is
the baby's barely
conceived.
even been conceived, but it's still illegal to abort it.
Yeah, it's been conceived. It's not illegal to abort it, by the way, in any state in the U.S.
That is a lie.
No, it's not. Go look it up. A woman can kill her child on the county courthouse steps, and in every single state in the United States, she cannot be prosecuted. It might be banned, illegal, but she can do it with complete immunity. Every single pro-life law that has ever gone into existence has a exception for a mother to get an abortion all the way up till birth with 0 criminal penalties. I don't think. Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure that there are a few women who've been in jail because of the abortions that they've had.
Yeah, being in jail, and so there was a woman in Texas who was arrested for having an abortion, a late-term abortion that she concocted herself with her own herbal remedy, and she was arrested. But now she is suing the state for millions of dollars because pro-life legislation has an exception in there for mothers to get an abortion up till birth.
All right.
It is literally not against the law.
All right. So what about in the case of my
So-
little sister then? I have
Okay.
a little sister and she can't. Well, probably she can't get currently pregnant now because she's a kid, but she
Okay.
has a genetic disease in which if she does get pregnant, there are chances that she will die. Actually, she probably will because that's how her
Okay.
mother died. So what about that?
Yeah,
You're telling me
so
that if my little sister gets hurt and she's forced to carry a baby, and what if she's about to die? She can't choose herself over her baby.
why don't we take that scenario and
No,
make
I
your
want to talk
sister.
about that scenario.
I am.
Please.
I'm responding. If you would let me.
Please.
Okay. Why don't we take that scenario and why don't we make your little sister younger? Right? And then younger. And then younger. And then younger. And then, oh wait, she's in the womb.
You want to know something? And my stepmom
Should we
decided.
kill her then?
My stepmom did actually make the conscious decision to choose herself. No, she chose the baby over her. And I'm okay with that decision because that was my stepmother's decision and she made it knowing that that was what she was going to do. But no other woman has the right to that. You're telling me that instead of her even having the option, because I'm telling you right now, no woman out there wants
You're
to have a baby
advocating
aborted.
for your little sister
I'm
to
advocating for
potentially have
anyone's
been
ability-
killed in the womb
Yes.
by your mom.
Yes, actually, because that's my mother's right.
Why?
That was my mother's
Why
right.
is
They
why
almost
do
happened
why
to
do
me.
women
You
get
think I
special
would've been
rights to
upset?
murder children?
Because the woman has to carry the baby. The woman has to live with that baby for 9 months. It is then that woman is then expected for the next 18 years of her life. Men walk away from those.
Okay, so wait a second. Do you believe that that parents have a duty to take care of their children?
I think that if that
So
parent
neglect
decides
laws?
to keep the child, then yes. I think that if that parent births a child, doesn't give it up for adoption, which is a horrible skewed system, by the way, then yes, they do have that right and they have the responsibility because they consciously.
Why does that responsibility not apply in the womb?
Because the baby isn't born. Because the baby doesn't even know. Because the woman and the parents have the right to choose. Because
You're asserting that, but you have to justify it.
yeah, and very different.
Justify the right to choose to kill an unborn child. That's what you have to justify.
Justify the right to choose to kill an unborn child.
Yeah.
First of all, the unborn child was not conscious. Secondly,
Okay, we've already went through. Can we kill people who are not conscious? No. Go on.
But we do.
Can we kill people who don't have brain activity? No.
And the family members decide whether
Can we-
or not
the family members decide.
unconscious people in hospice.
So now you're talking about pulling the plug?
Yes.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
Okay, do you think that there's a difference between trying to save someone and then deciding to let nature take its course versus inserting yourself into nature and, well, let's just name a few ways that you can do it. You can burn the child alive with saline. You can rip the child apart limb from limb. You can suck its head off with suction. How is that the same? Because in one instance, you're pulling the plug and you're letting nature take its course.
Hold up a second. I just want to be clear because I've had a couple DNCs. So are you saying that is
DNC as in that is like Plan B or something like that? Isn't that early abortion?
Then I would have fucking died.
You would have what?
I would have died.
Okay. So I'm sorry. I should be familiar with I've heard the term before. Explain it to me.
It means that I was pregnant and it was a non-viable pregnancy. And so like I would have died. So it was medically deemed necessary that I had.
Was the child dead in your womb
Yes.
at the time? Okay. I have no problem with removing
Okay, so
dead
you-
children.
do you
And
understand-
no one has any problem with that. No pro-lifer, no abolitionists, nobody in the US, that's total nonsense. No one has a problem with removing a dead child from the womb. That's totally
Okay, but there is actually because in a DNC the child is still connected to me and I am giving life to that being. It is not stillborn yet. So in a DNC, technically, it is meaning it is non-viable in the fact that it is.
So it is alive.
In a technical sense, it doesn't have a heartbeat. It is still connected to me in the sense of like, is it surviving? Yes, but is it going to kill me?
Yeah.
And is it not going to? Is it not ever going to?
For the
make a
same,
heartbeat? Yes.
Yeah. So for the same reason that I don't believe in euthanasia for people who are born, would be the same reason that I would say we can't insert ourselves into that situation and kill a child who has been deemed unviable. And if I could just share a couple anecdotes with you, I have a friend.
I'm going to stop.
I would like to continue for just 1 second and finish my
I
comment.
think you should let the woman speak.
Yeah. So you're.
No,
you're
I would like to
you're
continue.
going to
If that's
say-
okay, can I continue?
No, it's not. You're
Okay,
going to-
there's an
you're-
anecdote.
You're saying.
My friend's
No,
niece
You're saying.
they were
You were
told
saying-
that niece would be born without a face. The brain would be completely gone. That's what they were told by the doctors.
I don't give a fuck.
And she was born and she was fine. She has a little defect over her eye, but she was fine. So doctors cannot predict that stuff with 100%
Okay,
accuracy.
You have no idea what my medical history is. You just said that. You didn't even know what a fucking DNC was. However, what I can tell
Yeah,
you
no, I've heard the term, like I said, but I didn't remember.
different than
I'm sure you guys remember everything that you've ever learned all the time. So.
Hey, I just want to provide some clarification here as to what a DNC is. It refers to dilation and curettage. Curettage meaning that a curette is used. It's an instrument that's used to enter into a woman to remove either a dead child or kill a live child and remove that from the womb. So this woman even gets that wrong in this interaction. But if someone can throw out a term and they can be like, hey, you don't know this term, then yeah, it does look bad rhetorically, and it does look like you've lost the argument. However, as Christians, we just need to remember that it's always wrong to kill human beings. That's always wrong 100% of the time. And if we could kill someone out of the expectation that they were about to die, then we could kill everyone, because everyone is expected to die. So just wanted to put that in there. Mistakes like this are going to be made. I had certainly heard the term DNC abortion in the past, and I certainly have heard that curettes are used for abortion. But you're not going to remember everything in every single moment. But wanted to provide some clarification there, and now back to the video.
And I'm sure you know every experience that you're about to talk about with abortions, which I'm sure
I know that
Whenever
every.
you have a sign that says abolish abortion.
I know a lot of them. Yeah.
To the glory
And I
of
can.
God, by the way.
Yeah.
Good luck, y'all. Good luck.
And there is forgiveness, ma'am, for killing your unborn child. There is. There's forgiveness. That's part of it.
What do you
Is that
think
we're not out here just saying, hey,
you have to explain to him that you literally fought for women's rights to be taken away. Do you think he's going to be okay with that? Do you really think that you're going to get to the
no,
point
you're the one who's arguing that women's rights should be taken away. The smallest of women, the most innocent, the most vulnerable of women should not have the right to life.
It's not fucking
You're not going to ever convince
even
me.
a woman.
You're not going to shame me into saying I'm not for women's rights, because you're not for women's rights.
Really, I'm not.
100%.
So I've lived as a woman for 18
You're
fucking
not.
years, and I've been the one who's been hurt in these situations, and I've been the one to have to go get one of these, and I'm the one who has to live with that for the rest of my fucking life.
Okay.
You as a man get to sit here and tell me that I can't do that because you think that some dude who lives in the sky is going to be mad at me? Because he matters more than my actually here living life. I'm talking to you. Have you ever talked to that man?
Yes. If it's just a removal of like an organ, why is it making you so emotional?
Because you're telling me that I should have died.
No,
You're telling me that that's
I'm not telling you that you
You're
should
telling
have
me that
died.
that's my fault.
Yes, I am telling you that abortion is wrong.
I'm gonna die, and that again, some man in the sky is going to be mad at me.
Yeah,
because
God,
I chose
the God you know
myself.
exists.
No, I don't know he exists, but I know
Yeah.
that I exist. He's never showed up for me.
Okay, what if he's showing up for you right now?
How?
And what if he's telling
By
you?
putting you in
what
my
if
face
he's?
and telling me the decision that I made
What if
with
he's
my
telling
body
you?
wrong?
What if he's telling you through me that
And
you
how
can
am I
receive
supposed to trust
forgiveness
you?
for
I
that?
don't even know you, but I'm
Okay,
supposed to
that's
believe
fine.
you're the voice of God.
I'm just asking the question, what if he is talking to you through me and he's trying to tell you that instead of living the rest of your life with the guilt of knowing that you killed your unborn child, instead of living with that guilt, you can have that guilt and sin washed away by Jesus Christ?